Happy Friday, everybody. It's Kate at My Wayfaring Dreams. Yes, I cut all my hair off all by myself yesterday. This is just wet and let it dry. It had gotten unbearably hot. It had gotten so heavy. And I needed a change. For one, it seemed to be, holding the heat and the moisture on the head. I wore it up every day in a bun. And that was causing breakage, and it had just gotten miserable. I mean, I'd had it so long, for so long. So I invariably go very long, or I go pixie. That's just kind of my thing. If I want it long, I'm gonna wear it long. I mean, I hate to grow out and in between, so it could be a while before I grow it back out. But I also felt like it was dating me, age-wise. You know what I mean? There comes a point when long hair is doesn't always continue to be attractive on older women. I mean, there is the exception to the rule, but for the most part, there comes a point when, you just got to do what you got to do. So I'm out, as you can see, tending to the garden. That half of that has survived. We still haven't got all the tree down. Those are so vivid purple, and that's what survived of those two bushes. And let's see, roses are doing good. Everything else seems to be doing pretty good here. Got little maters, got more tomatoes. These will turn a very deep, dark purple. It's supposed to be purple cherry tomatoes, but they're bigger than most cherry tomatoes I've seen. Paul doesn't have ambulance duty this weekend. He's going to be off the ambulance for a while. It's physical time. He's just going to put off getting a physical. Or until they really need him, then he'll break down and go get the physical. He just thinks maybe his blood pressure will interfere. Because Paul kind of follows a Euro belief that we're a country where, the only country where it obsesses over blood pressure. I mean, he's really healthy, but I'm not going to argue with him. So whatever, but he needs a break from the ambulance. He's been doing it every weekend, sometimes both days of the weekend for the longest time. But I will see him eventually. He'll probably go back to it. He does love doing the EMT rescue stuff, so we shall see. So it took me 3 hours to do this. The instructor that I learned from by watching her videos took her 25 minutes, but she had already had it pixied and she was just trimming it up. But her tips on a simple, easy one were very simple. The hardest part was getting used to contorting my hands in strange directions with scissors and a comb in the other hand, and trying to set up another mirror to be able to see the back, which I was going to film the whole process, but our bathroom is really small, and I had the tripod set up with a mirror on it, and then I had the selfie stick, which also is a tripod, to with the camera on it, but it was such a confined space, and there was water flinging and hair flinging everywhere, and trying not to bump one camera, I would hit the other tripod, and it was just not working out for me. This plant in the experimental hanging soda bottle has still got the one tomato. This one's got flowers, but no tomato yet. They've all been fed, so today it's late in the afternoon. I'm just not getting out. I slept in because I do this whole up for 48 hours and I sleep, so whatever. But I've been a little more tired this week. I think it was after getting my second COVID shot. The first one, I noticed nothing. Didn't even have a sore arm. Had no symptoms. The second one, which I got Saturday, my arm was a little more sore than normal, and the lymph nodes under my left arm did swell up, and I was tired, but not a fever, but I don't run fevers. Even if I am sick, I don't run a fever. The one time I've had a really bad infection, I had it for a long time and didn't even know, because my body encapsulated it so that the infection wasn't going through my body. It was just filling up a big plug, well, like a little area, and my body made a little kind of capsule out of it. So anyhow, putting some water on the garden. I just don't run fevers. If anything, I have not enough fever, if that makes sense. But like that, I just don't ever really get sick. And then I had some sinus thing this weekend, which is kind of like a head cold. And I don't normally get colds, but the sinuses were acting up a little bit before I got the shot. And from my years in pharmacy, I do know that if you've got a little something going on, even if you don't realize it, when you get, whether it's a pneumonia, whether it's a flu shot, whether you get any kind of shot where your body's got to concentrate on making antibodies and doing something else, it will give something else a chance to show up. So like I said, I don't ever get colds, I don't get chest colds, but every now and then I always call them hay fevers. Yes, I put an S on the end just because, I don't know, it's cute and I like to be a little eccentric. But, and we've had some hotter, drier weather. I've been out in the garden with the tree dying, so who knows, but I felt fine after that second shot. My arm was much more sore, and that's the first shot besides a Tdap that I ever felt the shot moving in my muscle as I was being given it. And they said the second one's a little rougher than the first one, and I got the Pfizer shot. And I'm not saying everybody has to get a shot. I'm not pro or positive either way. I have a kicking immune system. I don't really believe that the shot was something that I have to get. I mean, I don't see people literally. Maybe once a week I see the girl at the grocery store in the checkout line, and she's wearing a mask. So I don't socialize, and you know, I'm just one of those disgustingly healthy people that never get to get out of school because I was sick. I took care of my brother and sister when they had strep, and they got sick, I didn't. You know, the worst thing I ever gotten is some, what do they call them? Oh, tonsil stones. Little stones in my tonsils. And I still have my tonsils, and they work awesome. They do what they're supposed to do, so all's well in that department. Why isn't the water going? Did I turn it back off? Sometimes I think I'm just losing my freaking mind. I must have. I lost my aunt and my mother both to Alzheimer's. I'm so hoping it skips a generation. But some days I wonder, I have to ask myself, okay, pretty dragonfly. These little stubs here you see me watering, those were beautiful white lilies that would be as tall as me, bright white, gorgeous. They were totally ruined by the tree. This one called Lady Grosvenor, sorry. She did bloom. She looks ugly, but she has managed to hold on to her blooms and buds. Probably because my white lily, which I love the most, took the brunt of it. So, like I said in a previous video, I'm feeding them more this summer, and not overfeeding them, but because once lilies stop blooming, all their energy to feed the bulbs comes from the stalks and the leaves, and so you can see that's a very, very poor amount of stalks and leaves. So I want them to come back nice and thick next year. A couple of these, which are the Asiatic, the deep red ones, a couple of them got broke, but they were already finished blooming. So I asked Paul if he was going to finish cutting the tree up this weekend, and he's like, probably, you know, gave me a little attitude for it. I'm not pushy, I'm just questioning, because even though we're not technically in city limits, I don't think you can see it, but oh my God, there's my neighbor. At the end of that driveway is in the city limits. So anyway, just checking out the garden, showing you my hair, and I will talk to you guys later. You guys have a great weekend. Bye.